Americans are wealthier than any people in the history of the world. Yet many are stressed out about their finances. Are people living beyond their means even though their incomes are relatively high? Are they maxing out credit cards and living paycheck to paycheck? Are they saving for unexpected expenses? Can you be financially secure even if you don't make a lot of money? Can ordinary folks invest in the stock market with manageable risk? The answers to these questions are the beginning of a checklist for what we call financial literacy.
Hello once again, and welcome to another lessons from Building and Enhancing New Literacies across curriculum. Today, we are going to discuss about financial literacy, how money works, how someone makes, manages, and invests it. For the objectives of today's lessons, students are expected to describe the characteristic of financial literate. Another one is to make wise financial decisions to improve one's life. And finally, to analyze people's practices in handling their finances. To start with, let us define financial literacy. Financial literacy, by definition, is having the knowledge and skills to manage the money wisely. The common understanding of financial literacy is for the people to have all the resources and tools needed to handle their finances while understanding the impact of their decisions on financial instability. What do we get from being financially literate? The main benefit of financial literacy is that it empowers us to make smart financial decisions, like buying what we need to manage our money effectively, such as budgeting, saving, borrowing, and investing. This means that we are better equipped to reach the financial goals and achieve financial stability. Why is financial literacy is important? Financial literacy is important because it equips with the understanding of basic financial concepts to inform the real-world financial decisions. With this knowledge in hand, they are able to manage their money, make sound decisions, and maintain healthy spending and budget habits.
Some of common situations in which financial literacy can help include saving for retirement, purchasing a house, selecting an insurance, managing a debt, reducing expenses, and others.
What does it mean to be financially literate? So financial literate means someone has an understanding of essential financial concepts. These include budgeting, the process of creating plans to spend the money. And number two is saving, depositing some amount of money from regular income so that the saved amount can be used at the time of urgency. The number three is the credit, to borrow money or access goods, services with understanding you will pay later. So the number four is the debt, is the amount of money you owe to someone else. So the number five is the insurance. It is a method by which you can protect yourself and your loved ones from facing financial crisis. So the number six is the decision making, the process of weighing the pros and cons of the decision as it relates the use of the money. Being financially literate person should always know the importance of financial decision making and having the knowledge of where to spend the money and skills how to manage it. Next is the financial literacy skills. This includes creating a budget, calculating interest, lowering costs by reducing wants, evaluating loan terms, comparison shopping, doing taxes, and saving money. So this knowledge and skills about financial literacy contribute a lot in financial decision making and the ability of carry out the decision that we made. How to become financial literate? So, becoming financially literate involves learning and practicing a variety of skills related to budgeting, managing and paying off debts, and understanding credit and investment products. These are the basic steps to improve your personal finances, include creating a budget, keeping track of expenses, being diligent about timely payments, being prudent about saving money, periodically checking your credit reports, and investing for your future.
Learn how to budget. The first step to gain financial literacy is learning how to budget. When you have a budget plan, you can spend money accordingly and will be able to save extra to use later in case of an emergency. Without a budget plan, you will be unable to control this overspending. May suffer if your salary or allowances ends. In order to make budget plan, you first need to note your monthly income and second, track your spending. You need to include all your fixed expenses like your mortgage or rent, utility bills, loan, payments, etc. And then include variable expenses such as groceries, entertainment, and etc. After tracking your major spending, make sure to set your financial goals on saving money. For example, there are two types of financial goals. Short-term goals can be achieved within a year, and long-term goals may take longer than a year, such as retirement, savings, etc. After setting all this up, finalize your plan and make sure follow it in order to achieve financial balance. Next, understand your credit score. It is very important to understand your credit score. But why is your credit score is important? How it is calculated and how can you it? When someone pays off their credit bills on time, they are viewed as trustworthy by the lender. They begin to build a credit history and afforded an improved credit score that will help them to obtain future loans. In this US, a credit score is 3-digit number from 300 to 850. High score indicates someone who is a low risk financially and will repay their credit bills on time, while a low score indicates someone who is a credit risk and who has likely not previously paid their credit bills on time. You should also be aware of your credit report, which is a summary of your financial situation. By reviewing your credit report, you will be able to spot any errors or fraudulent entries and can take legal steps to overcome the loss. This report may also help you to track your spending and important credit score over time. So, number 3, in a savings account will help you to save any extra money you have. It's the best way to keep money and safe and secure, and may even to pay you interest over insurance and security. So, a saving account also makes billing easier and more convenient for the user, while an ATM card is portable and keeping in a wallet. Understand the loans. It is important to understand the importance of paying off debt loans. Having a debt-free life is a desirable dream for most individuals. There are two ways to pay off your debt fast. One way is to identify the loan with the highest interest and rate pays this off first, hence reducing the amount of interest you will need to pay in the long term. Once this debt is cleared, you can focus on paying off the loan with the second highest interest rate and so on. An alternative approach is to pay off all small debts first and then focus the larger loans. 5. Expect risk is crucial to be ready for the expected risk and money to put aside in case of emergency. So, many people don't anticipate such risks and suffer as a result. Think about the COVID-19 crisis and how many people also around the world suffered financial loss because they were not prepared. Experts say that you should have a reserve of 3-6 months living expenses for sure in case of an emergency. So when you are prepared for an unexpected risk in this way, you will be able to keep a minor financial crisis from turning into a major one. For example, if you were to lose your job, you should have enough savings to up aside meet your monthly expenses until you can find a new job. So, unfortunately, some people become homeless after losing their job because they had not anticipated the risk. Next, secure your future. It is important to be ready for your retirement. Many people may think they are too late already, but it is better too late than never. Making an appropriate retirement plan is a crucial step in financial literacy. First thing to do when planning your retirement is to consider your age and when you would like to retire. You should then determine your retirement spending needs like monthly bills, groceries bills, medical expenses. Then calculate the investment rate of return and decide if your retirement fund will be able to generate the required income after tax. After that, save money and make appropriate investment for your retirement. So number 7, reduce spending. If you wish to put more money aside as savings, you have two choices. You can either take another job to increase your income or you reduce your outgoings or expenditure. Spending can be reduced by planning your grocery shopping list carefully. For example, if you want to buy 2 items but also want to reduce your spending at the same time, you need to be identify the most important item and buy the first. The next month, when your new salary comes, you can buy the second item. Dividing your spending over a period of several months in this way can help you to save money, and reducing spending will help you to reach your financial goals. Create a realistic budget and stick to it. The means periodically checking your budget against your actual spending patterns and adjusting your figures and spending habits accordingly. Learn how to make a budget. Don't impulse buy. When you see something you had not planned to buy and you don't actually need, don't purchase it on the spot. Go home and think it over. It least likely will return by it after having a chance to think it over. Don't buy something just because it is on sale. Buying a $500 item on sale for $400 is not 100 savings if you don't need to item. Begin with the spending of $100 unnecessary and may have been a real sales. Some to stores makes down almost immediately to make people think they're getting a bargain. To learn how to control of your finances by learning the basic money of management, read Money Management 101. Get medical insurance if it all is possible. Even a stopgap policy with a large deductible can help if medical crisis comes up. You can avoid medical emergencies, but living without medical insurance is an invention to financial ruin. And if you think you just go to the emergency room of something, there come up realize 2 things. This doesn't help chronic conditions like cancers, and though the emergency room can't return away for lack of insurance. So, charge item only if you can afford to pay for them now. If you don't currently have the cash and charge based on future income, something future income doesn't materialize. Meanwhile, you'll be paying exorbitant interest rates, which wipe out any savings you and even buying an item on sale. Try tossing all your credit card into a drawer, committing to living without credit for a while. Avoid large rent or house payments. Obligate yourself only for what you can now afford and increase your mortgage payments only as your income increases. Consider refinancing or applying a loan on modification of your house in your payments unwidely. Avoid consigning or guarantee a loan of someone. Your signature obligates you as if you want primary borrower. You can be sure that the other person will pay. Avoid joint obligation with people who have questionable spending habits, even a spouse or significant other. If you can incur a joint debt or tax bill, you're probably liable for it if the other person defaults. In many cases, such as liabilities have been known to outlast the relationship. And don't make high-risk investments such as investment in speculative real estate, penny stocks, and junk bonds. Invest conservatively, opting for certificates of deposits, money market funds, and government bonds. Find alternative to spending money. For a friend's birthday, take her on a picnic rather than to an expensive restaurant. When someone suggests that you meet for lunch, purpose meeting at the museum, it is free day, or going for a walk in a park, instead of buying book and CDs and renting videos. Borrow them for a free at a library.